Good evening, everybody. This is Leo Ganesh, the founder of Canada Investors Club and Business Growth Partners. Today, the Time to Shine podcast. We are going to start with Mr. Joseph Salloum. He's an allied insurance broker, the IBC specialist, and of course, he is number one in Quebec City and number 18 on all around Canada. And of course, he is a friend of mine for a long time in Ottawa. And of course, I am very pleasure and honored to interview and get more insights about this infinite banking and his life insurance strategies and wealth creation strategies more than if I talk about life insurance. Hi, welcome, Joseph. Nice talking to you for the last 2 minutes for the introduction. It is the start of the podcast. Please introduce yourself, then we can go for the more valuable insights of your experience.
It is my pleasure meeting you again, Leo. And thank you for all what you are doing for your community and for Canadians. Really, it is something amazing. Yeah, my name is Jose Salloum. Everyone call me a different name, Joseph, Joe, Jose. So I accept them all. Born in Venezuela from Lebanese background, a surgeon dentist by trade, but when I immigrated to Canada, I kindly was forced to change, but I love finances, so I choose to be a financial security advisor. And then I didn't like it until one day, 12 years ago, I heard about the infinite banking. And that was said, this is scam. This is
Oh,
can, this is cannot be true. This is a big scam. I didn't get it. And I got this book from someone as a gift. This is
okay.
I put it 2 years on a side. Then I read it again, and in that time on the internet there was about 10 videos about infinite banking. There is nothing. So
Wow.
I didn't believe it. Then I studied against it. Oh my goodness, I got it. Then I start to see the things is like a veil on my eyes is gone, and then I call it six banks now in my life, or six big it's a system of policies. We use it to exercise the infinite banking. Infinite banking is not a policy. So this what led me. My mentor, that who brought it to me, the idea, passed away after 2 months from giving me the book. I miss him a lot, but I worked a lot on myself. Actually, I educated myself a lot. Then I joined Nilsson Ness Institute. It's a good one. I learned a lot, but it's not Canadian environment, so it's focusing more on United States. So I want something for Canadian. So look,
Okay.
I'm creative. I visionary. I have big dreams. So I took it to a higher place, and now we are establishing the Infinite Banking Expert Institute, IBC Expert Institute, in Canada, and spreading also that in the United States. So we have big dreams, we have big ambition, and we are going to serve the people by many ways. So I hope that I didn't take too much time answering this question.
Definitely, definitely. Because you have a lot to share. I can definitely understand your enthusiasm. Thank you so much. Yeah, the first question I like to ask about is, you are ranked the number one, and how can you differentiate yourself from the other insurance and infinite specialists who are in this country from the other people?
Yeah, many with the great respect, there is two kind of um, infinite banking practitioners.
Okay.
There there is some people that they took it as a job because they could sell more life insurance, and some of them they don't understand anything about infinite banking. I have some advisors. They joined my team in the past. They were selling life insurance and the infinite banking. They discovered that they were wrong, and they
Okay.
approached me and said, look, we are doing that wrong. Can you teach us? Can you
Oh,
guide us? And they spent a few years with me. Even some of them, they left to be independent. So what differentiate is not only the knowledge, but also the practicing this in your life. You can, if you are a doctor, you need to do training before you go right away in the operation room to make the operation. You need to practice that with professors. So I have 24 years experience in finance. I
That's
was trained by the best advisors in Montreal, the top
okay.
advisors. So we were meeting, let's say, in a room where there is around the table over 250 years experience every week for 3 hours, Monday morning from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and just sometimes smashing each other, and how to beat the system, how to get the best for the client, not how
Mm.
to sell,
Yes.
how to sell, how to we said the competition we have in that time. I said, we don't have competition. My competition is the government, the taxes,
Yeah.
the banks, death, and disability insurance. That's our competition. I should see my clients before them. I should see my client before they pay the taxes.
Mhm.
Before, so this is there is, and you practice it in your life. I have many policies in my life, and as I shared with you before the meeting, I cannot share it openly, but it's not only. And by the way, the first one I did totally wrong. Everything in it wrong because was I didn't know the right structure of a policy, which is important. Let me ask you, Leo.
Yes.
God forbid, if you have a heart problem, you go to your doc, say, I feel pain, and your doctor is a good, great family doctor,
Hmm.
and he will tell you, Leo, don't worry, you have a big problem in your heart, but don't worry, I can treat you. Do you
Hmm.
trust him? Or do you trust a specialist, an expert? Which one do you trust?
Yeah, specialist. I'll run away from my family doctor.
So I'm known as the IBC expert, not only a specialist, and the IBC expert. So I coach people across the continent here in Quebec and Canada. I have in Vancouver, all over Canada, and in USA, in Florida. I have people I'm training them.
Okay, that's good. So you go up to US every time.
No, I know on Zoom, I train them because they approach me, say, can you train me? I need your help. I said, it's
All
my
right.
pleasure. It's my pleasure. I give them guidance and I tell, oh, yeah, we can see it now. Because let me tell you, and let me whisper, even on the internet, we don't declare all the secrets.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if they know 90%, but the 10% is will make the big difference. And we keep it for our faithful client, actually.
It's
Some
true.
people will sell you a life insurance, but after that, you will hit the wall. One day you will hit the wall and, well, look at that. No, we don't do that.
All right, that's good. That's good. Okay, I got it. And the other question, because as a business owner and real estate investor, many investors and business owners simply underestimate a life insurance policy, and they think life insurance is just to the end of their time period. One, second, they fairly underestimate that. But how can you see and how can you talk about this infinite banking system that is far more than a life insurance, and it can even help them in the life itself? When they are alive itself, it'll help them.
Thank you. Imagine, Leo, imagine that you are living in a beautiful countryside in Canada, and there is from your home there is a river passing, lots of water, leaving and going to a lake or to another bigger river, leaving. It starts in your land, but it is leaving your land. But your neighbor has another river, and that river is going toward a lake he created. And in that lake, there is a view, there is a sea-doo,
Mhm.
there is a boat, and there is fish. And what is the difference? Is a cash flow leaving your life. You lost the control of the banking function in your life. People, when they start the infinite banking, they should understand what is the banking function. It was Chinese for me, say banking function. Well, what is the bank? Even I was 15 years in business, said, what is the banking function?
Mhm.
Your money, your money should reside somewhere. You
Yes.
ask yourself, look, I print money, by fake money.
Hmm.
This is fake money. Just I use it as an example. There is a specimen. So and they are big because there is inflation, you know. Okay. Okay. So you earn your income and you work hard from the morning until midnight, day and night, and you take them and you give them to the five banks we have in Canada. You store it with them. You think, and I think that we are earning money. No, they are earning the money. We are working and they are taking our money. What they do with that? Leo, you take this and you put your name in it, on it. And you tell them, look, I'm coming back tomorrow to take this $100. You go back, the next day you go there and say, can I have my $100? Say, absolutely. They give you another one with no signature on it. Why?
Yeah.
Because yours, it is landed to someone else already.
Yeah.
So when you work hard, you give them all your money. What they do with your money? They
Yeah.
let they let it. This is the velocity banking.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
velocity of money. So they don't let the money sleeping. That's why I told you it's a river, and
Correct.
the river is running. A stagnant river, you don't trust it, even if there is the same amount of water. There's no life in it. So,
Yes.
answering your question, it's the banking function. People don't know about it. It's you need to store your money somewhere. It should be secure place. That's
Mhm.
guarantee. It should be accessible, liquid, accessible anytime, and it should give you profit. This is number. This is these four, and these are leading to the most important, or one of the most important point in infinite banking is the following. I need to know who are the four players in the banking function. In the banking play, there's four players.
Mhm.
Me and you as Canadians, as customers, we learn to be great customers for banks. Great Canadian kind customers. We deposit and we borrow from banks. We yield our power, our financial power, strength to
Yeah.
them.
Yes.
We are not the bank's owners. Where are the bank's owners? They are in Florida or in the Bahamas or somewhere enjoying the sun. They are getting dividend. Do you get dividend every month, every day from these banks? Even if you have millions of dollars with them, except if you are a shareholder with them. Do you get
Yeah.
money? No. Who's making the money? The bank owners. So
Correct.
in the infinite banking, you should become a bank owner. And the fourth one, which is the most important role, is the banker. You
Mhm.
administrate your bank. You decide what you want to take, what you want to borrow, when you want to pay back. You decide the cash flow. You decide the interest rate. The penalty on you is going to be two entity. It is like born again in banking. So you have
Mhm.
your bank and you have you. You have
Okay.
Leo's bank and you have you. When you need money, you go to Leo's bank and you borrow and you treat yourself as a stranger. Even you
Correct.
charge yourself higher interest. Why
Right.
not? Because when you pay it back, you pay to whom? Not to the life insurance company. You pay
Yes.
part of that to the life insurance company, but you pay back to Leo, to your
Yes.
system. And let me whisper something. We work with a company where you are a co-owner. So when you pay also the interest that you pay
Mhm.
to a company that you are a co-owner in that company. So it will be back in a way, certain way or big way or tremendous way as dividend, compound interest dividend. That's
Mhm.
crazy. You know, crazy, crazy.
Yeah. Yes.
People you don't hear about that on the internet. You hear, oh, you buy a life insurance, go to ChatGPT. What should I, you buy a whole life insurance and you put money and you borrow. That's what they tell you. They don't teach you the other things.
Mhm. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, the other one, of course, I'm as a real estate investor myself, in many other investors, they simply leverage the mortgage when they buy properties. So mortgage is the only thing that they think they can leverage. So that 10% down, 5% down. Of course, I am referred as a zero down specialist. That's how I buy many properties, multifamily and single family. So I like that, and many investors like that. So they try to leverage the mortgage for their acquiring properties. But how can we make use of this infinite banking system to buy properties?
Okay. It's a good question. First, in the book here, Mr. Nelson Nash, the who wrote
Okay.
it, I didn't wrote this, spoke about Parkinson law, not the sickness Parkinson. Parkinson was a economist
Yes.
and he's a philosopher. He spoke about instant gratification and people wants to enjoy things now right away and they fail to plan. The question is to answer this is a big question. Well, I don't know if we have the time to answer it all, but we need a bank in our lives. We need a place to store our money to use it. As a temp, when you take 10% down, when you have accumulate 10%, you need to accumulate them somewhere.
Right.
Where? You should be in the bank usually. And
Yeah.
now they are asking you 6 months to prove it. It was 90 days. Now they want the proof that you hold it 6 months with them. What they
Yes.
were doing with this 6 months, they were making money from your money. And guess
100%.
what? Guess what? When you surrender the 10% or 20%, whatever it is, you lost the control to have a mortgage. In reality, you should think long range. Number one, in the infinite banking, there is 8 rules, five from Mr. Nelson Nash, one from David Stearns, a great man, and two from me.
All right.
So the 5 rules are the following: think long range. And when we
Yeah.
say long range, it's 4 generations. Because
Oh.
when you lose the money, you didn't lose it yourself, Leo. Who lost it? You, your children, children lost it. So you need
Mm-hmm.
to think, when I lost this $1,000, my children lost it, Otto, and my children lost it. You see that? That's wealthy family like the Rockefeller.
Yes.
That's what they do. They think they buy right away a life insurance on the person. So anyway, so there is, there is, you are surrendering the power to have a mortgage by them, and excuse me, we will be slave to them. And if the real estate deal went wrong,
Yeah.
and it sometimes it happens if there is many circumstances, cheating, lying, things that you didn't see, economy circumstances, you lost the money, they are gone. So what
Right.
you do, you need to build your system, and you use your dollar, guess what, sometimes 2 times, 3 times, 4 times the same dollar. It will, you can use it 3 times or 4 times. We teach our clients, I'm not going to explain it here, how
Yeah.
you can build wealth, build millions of dollars, and you become wealthy. No, I don't promise, each person is different. Today I have a lady with a very low income, about $14,000, but she had assets in her TFSA. Her husband also has mortgage paid, but they don't have cash flow, and
Right.
they have about $40,000 debts on their credit card.
Mm-hmm.
It will take them all their lives. They are real estate investors, by the way, but there is 40,000. I told her, Miss So and so, you are, do you know that this will take you all your life to pay it off? She said, yes. Today I did the strategy for them. They will be debt free in 1 year. And guess
Wow.
what? They will convert the debt to wealth. So when a mortgage broker, sorry, no, when a real estate investor buy a property and take a mortgage from uh, banks, he is surrendering the banking function to them. He will become, excuse me, a slave for the bank. Me too. All of us. We are in slavery, but slavery here is not shackles. It is different kind of shackles. It's a
So,
contract. But there is no instant gratification. You see, I went back now to the beginning. You need to build a system, and it will take time. But
yeah.
when you build it, oh my goodness, you will be wealthy. It will take more time. Better
Yeah.
than to lose.
Definitely.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah. So that is true. So yeah, the mortgage is the trap. Really saying now 50 years mortgage as a mortgage broker. I understand that we put the amortization more and more and more. Some CMHE mortgages are available for a longer amortization. We are happy with the cash flow, the monthly payment, but unfortunately, we are really locking for them for lifetime.
Think about how much you are going to pay interest
Of
to these
course.
banks, 50 years.
Yeah, many
Why
people.
you don't pay to your system?
That's true.
Why you don't, you and your children, your children need each one of them 11 cars, with their spouse 22 cars in their lifetime,
Mm-hmm.
plus mortgages, plus vacation, plus why they should go to other financial institution? Why they don't go to Leo's bank and borrow from Leo, so you improve your life, and
Right.
later when you leave this earth, God bless your life, guess what? You will give them huge amount of money.
Yeah.
It's for them. They continue for the children also. That's
Yeah.
what we teach. We teach how to create generational wealth through the infinite banking for our clients. We are specialists on that. I did it. I have
Yes.
it. I have six big banks in my, or I call it banks. In
Oh.
yeah,
Okay.
I have six one, but and I'm happy. I finance everything, even the food, but it will take time. Even the toothbrush that I buy it, I finance it. I get back. I create convert the debt to wealth. So
Okay.
this lady I will enter today, she's going to have $4.8 million in her retirement
Mm-hmm. In how many years?
lifetime, because you need a bank all your life until you die. You need a bank. You see, so it's not investment. It is building a banking system. And
Mm-hmm.
guess what? Even she has. I told her today. This is today in the morning.
All
I
right.
said, Miss So and So said, do you mind to have $3 million? Let's say, should you spend $3 million in your retirement living? And they are very, very modest, very humble people. I love them. They are. She's a wonderful lady. Said, do you mind to have $3 million debt on you? She said, no, because I have 4.8. When I die, based
Yeah.
on what I understand, that my life insurance will pay my debt. And guess
Right.
what? Let me whisper. When you take a loan, you don't pay taxes. So $3 million equal to $6 million gross
Mm.
income. You
Yeah.
see, to get there is not quick richness.
True.
It is building a system for you and your family.
Okay, that's amazing. I will definitely come back to the same question to clarify a little more after that, so we can move to the next question too now. So here, as a business owner, entrepreneur, even investors, they always think about cash flow. We simply say that cash is king, or otherwise liquidity. So, how come this infinite banking system can increase the liquidity and the cash flow for an entrepreneur or even a investor?
Absolutely. I want to add something. IBC cash flow is king, not
Wow.
cash. It's IBC cash flow. Why? The cash flow is that you are getting the cash flow. You want the cash flow. Let's say, let me ask you, if you have a $500,000 in a bank,
Mm.
and you have a deal and you borrow 300,000, or you took from the bank $300,000 and put it there in a deal. How much left in your bank account?
200.
200. If you have your own banking system, the same thing. You have $500,000 in your bank, in your infinite banking policy. Some people, and they say you cannot say infinite banking policy. No, there is infinite banking policy because it's designed different way. They are marketing things anyway.
Mhm.
So if you have $500,000 in your policy, in your banking system or policies, and you borrow 300,000 for the same deal, how much is left there?
Typically 200,000.
500,000 and more. The next day you borrow, it is more, so you have more cash flow because you didn't touch your money is still compounding in your
Mm.
banking system as you never touch it. It's like we have a building and you take a HELOC on it. Does When you take a HELOC, does this touch the increase in value of your property if we are in ascending um, scenario, ascending market? So your house will continue, your property continue to grow
Mm.
even if you leverage. Now cash flow, it's very easy to ask. You don't need the credit check. They don't. It is easy in 5 days or 7 days. You get the 300,000. You don't need a thick. Let's say in a market, if you have 500,000 in your property or in your policies, and we have a crash in the market, or like the scenario that we have in the last few years.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you, if we have, do you remember 3 years ago, and if you when we have the pandemic, and after that, and the interest rate was skyrocketing, the prices went down. Try to take a loan from the bank. What they will tell you? Oh, we cannot. We need to study, and sometimes they restrict the loans here,
Yes.
and you miss the opportunity when you have your banking system. You have an opportunity. You can profit from it. That's what Mr. Warren Buffett is doing in his life. You know, that he put always lots of cash on a side.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Do you think he's buying now when the market went down 10 or 15%? Is he buying now? Maybe, I don't know. Is Of course. And so the cash flow, you are the king. And that's why in my presentation say IBC cash flow is king. You are the king. You are in control of the banking function. You decide what you want to do, not the banks. Yeah, but again, it will take time to build the wealth in your bank. It's not that, yeah, I have $1 million, I will put it in my policy. It doesn't work. That's why every case we do something called IBC financial DNA. IBC, it's a special design. So, in summary, you are in control of your cash flow here, and you can profit from opportunities when the market is down.
Got it. Okay. Right. The other one, actually, as a financial controller for the last 20 years, as a financial controller's perspective, normally we think about risk management most of the time. So, how does a properly structured whole life insurance can protect investors in a way the other assets cannot protect?
Absolutely. This is a great question. When you know the component of a life insurance, you have a death benefit. So let me tell you, when you have money and you put it in any bank, do they give you a death benefit to protect your family with it? No. Here, when you
Mm-hmm.
store your money, you create death benefit right away. So there is protection for the family. And this death benefit will become what? Living benefit in the future. You don't need to die to profit from your life insurance. You can profit from your life insurance while you are alive. This is kind of a secret. We keep it to our clients. So
Mm-hmm.
there is, when you deposit, so you get this benefit, protection, you get cash flow, and you eliminate, if you go in a deal as we spoke, and the deal didn't go in a good way, you lost the interest on what you borrow only. Let's say you spend $100,000 on a deal. So what you lost is actually only the interest that you are paying on the 100,000,
Mm-hmm.
but your 100,000 still in your policy doing compound interest more than what you paid. So you mitigate the risk of losing money. See, that's amazing. That's why you sleep. Say you don't care about what's going to happen in the market or the deals. Of course, you need to plan a good way. When you have an expert guiding you, understanding and guiding you in all the steps, you will eliminate the risk. The only risk, actually, in the infinite banking, there is few risk.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is stealing your bank. If you malpractice, if you bad manage your bank, when you borrow, you don't return. Oh, I don't want to return my money.
Oh.
So no, it doesn't work. As I said, that's why I said, this is my why it's not investments. Why the no, no, no. That's why education is a must, Mr. Leo. Education and that's what we give our clients. We give them 6 hours education, and their promise that if they decide to do it, they will do it with us. We'll give them access to a master class, 6 hours education. They will learn the infinite banking inside out, and we give them to our clients that they want to change. Say, I want, after they read the book, say, I want to change. I want to be good. I want to be in control. I want to create wealth for my family. I want to be wealthy and enjoy my life with my family. You will be fighting with your wife, when you have infinite banking. Do you know that? You will be fighting with your wife on something not to pay the bills. Should we
Not
go to Punta Cana or Jamaica? No, I want Jamaica. No, I want Punta Cana. That's what you will be fighting on. It's true.
okay. We had to go both.
You will. You
Okay.
will. Look, last year, I went 3 months to Punta Cana myself. I love
o-
it.
Okay, that's
And
good.
I was working from there. Why? Because I have my banks working for me. You see?
That's
And that's the difference. You ask me, because some other advisor, they sell you a life insurance. No, I practice it, is the expert on infinite banking. Go ahead.
that's a, okay. The other one is tax efficiency. Tax efficiency is a huge concern for high income professionals and investors and entrepreneurs. And how does this infinite banking system going to help us to reduce the tax liability while growing our wealth, you think?
If someone tell you that you are not going to pay taxes to the government, he's a liar. Big liar. If they
True.
say, oh, there is a loophole and even infinite banking is a loophole, no. But it's how to pay the taxes. That's the question.
Mm,
You are going to pay. But what about a system that when you pay, you get back in your system because you practice the system you don't get back from the government. But that's why the wealthy people have practiced that all their lives. First time I heard about uh, the whole life, because I used to sell what they call buy term and invest the rest. And in reality, buy term and lose the rest. Because people are losing, listen to this, Leo, people are losing 34.5% of their income
mm-hmm.
to banks and financial institutions. That's the interest volume. That's the river I told you it is leaving your life, instead of going toward a lake and beautiful lake working for you. So how wealthy people avoid taxes? They don't avoid taxes, but how they pay it? They pay it through life insurance. Life
Mm,
insurance in Canada is not taxable. So they built the system.
okay.
The first time I heard about the power of whole life, my mentor, he's not an infinite banking mentor. He's a as I told you, he was number one in Montreal in sales and life insurance. He called me,
Oh,
said, Joseph, come to my he called me Joseph. He said, Joseph, come to my office. I want to see you. I want to show you something. I said, okay. He showed me a policy,
mhm.
$50 million.
Wow.
What? Traditional whole life, not infinite banking. When
Mm,
the person bought $50 million, the traditional whole life, which is very expensive. This is
mm,
not what we do. I said to him, La, why is this? And in that time, I about 1.5 million, 1 million or $1.5 million term life insurance. My wife 750, and I was paying $125. I was happy. Say 50 million. Say why? He said, and long story short, my mentor went to his house in a beautiful place in Montreal, and he said to me, "Went out from the house from outside the normal." I said, "When we entered inside is a castle. You don't
mhm.
see, it's he said the gold and luxury that you cannot imagine inside." And he
Yeah.
said to me, "I saw a pile of life insurance like this." He said, "There's about $2 billion
Ooh.
of life insurance policies amount on him, on his family, on his father, on his. He's 37 years old in that time. He's a real estate builder, by the way. He was
Mhm.
building, and he wants to insure. Guess what? The taxes. He's going to have capital gains.
Right.
Who's going to pay it? The life insurance will pay it. He's not
Right.
going to pay. See
Hmm.
that? That's smart because you are going to pay taxes. I said, if someone said, no, there is a loophole, you don't pay tax. No, You are going to, but it's how to pay it. You create wealth by paying taxes. What are you talking about? Yes, because he's not going to pay $50 million for his life insurance. He took it
Yeah.
for 20 years. Let's say he's going to put $10 million. It will grow to 50 million. He will pay the government, let's say, supposedly $30 million capital gains, and he will leave his family with what? $20 million. He will take them from a special window in his company, a special window. He can take this $20 million tax free for his family. You see, he created wealth by paying taxes.
No,
Is that good?
yeah, of
Is that
course.
good? This is,
Definitely.
I knew it before becoming infinite banking expert. The-
Mhm.
I was teaching people to do that. Then I heard about the infinite. Anyway, that's
Yeah.
good.
Okay, that's good. The other one, of course, there is a misconception that life insurance is just for the people to save or help something when they die. But can you give any real life example where a person really benefited out of a infinite banking system while he is alive and create any generational wealth?
Yeah, the person who's talking to you, me.
Okay, that's a great example.
You
Go
know,
ahead.
we have hundreds of clients. When that's why you say, because people didn't know. How do we get, Leo? How do we get our education in finance? Who teach us? Could you share with me? Who
Yeah,
taught us what we know about finance? We get it from somewhere.
yeah.
Who taught us that?
Not from the school, not from any colleges or anything. We learn from our practical experiences and losses most of the time.
As a wise man, that's what you are doing. But in the public, they learn it from the media,
Oh,
from life insurance companies, from banks, from institution. They are focusing on 5% what is left at the end of the month. People are paying almost 50%, or let's say I would take it 35% to the government
mhm,
taxes. They pay 34.5% to financial institutions based on Mr. Nelson Nash analysis here in his
mhm.
book. In page 17, as you see here,
Okay.
this is the car, financing a car, 7%, for mortgages 22%, and living expenses between 5 and 7. So what is left actually
Okay.
at the end of the month is 5%. 5% of that. And everyone, if you, let's say, if you are in a coffee shop and you have people around the table drinking coffee and they want to talk about investments, what they will talk about? They will talk about the return on their investments on the 5% left. And they forget the 34.5% they lost it to the banks. Ooh.
Yeah, of course, disposable cash only they can think about for investment. And out of that, how much they are paying, how much they are getting is the bigger topic for them. But it's a foolish.
So,
Yes.
answering your question, we get the wrong education. And when we study the infinite banking, and you have an expert that will lead you, will give you the real understanding on how the flow of money in your life will be, then you understand how to use the system in a good way. You don't need to be wealthy to establish it. Everyone need a bank. Who is the
Mm-hmm.
bank? Who is the bank in your life? And who is the banker in your life? You see, we go back to the four players in the banking function. Who are you the bank? When you earn your income, you ask yourself, put it on the fridge. Who is the banker in my life, Leo? Who is the bank in my life? Where I'm storing my money? And not only you, me, and I'm, yeah, and the listeners, ask
Mm-hmm.
yourself, the best practice. Sit down like I did. Sit down, take all the last 10 years interest that you pay on cars, mortgages, vacation, credit cards. You will not sleep. You will
Yeah.
not sleep. So that's the answer.
Yeah, I buy properties with zero down strategies and things like that. So I always pay interest. Sometimes we think it is good. Sometimes, yeah, we pay very high. We cannot even recover that one. That's really true.
it's I'm not saying it's wrong, but there is a Honda and there is a Rolls Royce. Which one do you want?
Yeah, Rolls Royce.
Okay. So I said to the people, say it's the Rolls Royce vehicle. The other one will give you. Many people did money with OPM, other people money, but here your dollar will be working four places.
Mm-hmm.
This lady that I spoke about, $4.8 million today, she's not going to sleep tonight because
Mm-hmm.
she thought that she will be paying her credit cards loan all her life. Now she's going to become wealthy. And guess what? It took her 1 year study. I said to her, so finally, you are here. What have you been said? Ça fait longtemps in French. It took a while, yes. But
Okay,
I'm here. She got it.
that's
Some
good.
people get it in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, some people in 5 minutes, and some people will take them 10 years to get it. I have an engineer, I love him so much. It took him 10 years to understand it, not because it's difficult, but he
Mm.
was trying to understand every point. He's an
Ooh,
engineer. And other people, I have a nurse. I met her in the hospital when I was in the hospital. She
all
got
right.
it. She got it in 5 minutes. I said, "Oh my god!" Like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes analogy is really taking a lot of time. At last, they have become paralyzed. Okay, the
But
next question.
we'll make it easy for our clients because I practice it and I make the way that to teach the people to understand it. It's very rare that take 10 years. Usually 2 months people because they need to spend education, they need to study. If they don't study, they I will not do business with them. We have a prerequisite. If someone not reading the books that we give them 3 books. If
Mhm.
they don't want to spend 6 hours or 10 hours reading the books, I don't want you as a client.
Okay, okay,
I,
that's a,
I'm not tough, but I cannot be with the client. They are the bankers, not me. So
Mhm.
it's like a coach. I'm a coach, IBC coach.
True, true, true.
I teach them, but they are going to play the game, not me.
Correct. Yeah. Okay, the other question, if any investors or entrepreneurs listening to this podcast right now, if they decide, yes, I feel this investment banking is something good, I would like to take that next step and join here. What are the key things that they have to set up first, you think?
First, they should realize the problem. If we don't know the problem, that we are in bondage to banks and financial institutions, we are in a matrix. First, I want to be free. I want to create wealth for my family. I don't want to lose this money. The why, you heard maybe many seminars. The why you want to do it. I want to
Mhm.
be free, and not only free, I want to be sovereign. That's why I'm inventing now a new word, and you will start to hear it: banking sovereignty. And even
Yeah.
I took the domain name of that, and I will be right. So banking sovereignty, you would be sovereign in your banking system. You create a system that's sovereign. So in this way, so a real estate investor first he should decide, and they know, actually the fastest people that they understand infinite banking are the real estate investors. So first the why I want to be free. Then they're willing to educate themselves and to create wealth for the families. And usually, let me I have a doctor. He did a plan even for his daughter because they are going to be in the future facing big amount of wealth. They create,
Okay.
they create. I cannot mention, this tremendous amount of money, millions and millions of years of dollars. Sorry, millions and millions of dollars that is going to be in their family.
If any real estate investors or business owners decide to go into real estate investment, what are the key things that they may have to set up now? That's the idea we had it. So exactly, if an entrepreneur or investor listen to this podcast, decide to go for this infinite banking for the first time, what are the key things that they have to set up?
Okay, it is my pleasure. So as I said, they should realize the problem. They should have the desire to be free and to create their banking system, and they
Mhm.
can contact me and we will do all the what they need to learn, and we educate them, give them the materials, coach them. Then, when you know the problem, you know what you should do. They realize the problem and they see the solution. Then we will help them to establish that system in their lives. There is no one answer for all. It's depend on the person and their education, their knowledge, their imagination. So it's a matter of imagination, education, learning, and prophecy. So it is totally different than one plus one equal two. Here, one plus one equal 10.
Yeah.
So and we will help them with that. So they should first realize, I want to be free. When you are free, you have the desire to create it, and we'll give them the education for that. So
Mhm. Okay, that's amazing. The other one, of course, what are the biggest mistakes that people make when they structure their infinite banking with an ordinary specialist, ordinary life insurance specialist who is really doing some sort of infinite banking versus that you are doing that? And how
if
can
it's a, if it's a special, there is should be no error. Now, some people will play the role of a specialist. They sell a traditional life insurance, and I saw that many times. People come to me. They thought that they have. I have a doctor. He has three policies,
Mhm.
and all of them are wrong design.
Uh,
So, and I remember that this is many years. So, have all the wrong things in them, and he has the arrival syndrome. That means that he is. I know everything, and I know these agents how they think. So
oh,
actually they did a bad service for him, because they sold him traditional whole life as it is the infinite banking whole life. No, and with the wrong company, which is even a good company as a for life insurance, but not for infinite banking. It should be a mutual life insurance company. You should be a co-owner in the company. Not
oh,
every policy is a right policy. You can do it with other companies, but it's not the same. Now we spoke about the Honda. You can have a Mercedes 230 or 330 Mercedes with a company, but in the other side, for the same amount, you can have a Rolls Royce Ghost. Which one do
mhm.
you want? Okay, see, for this, so and we reduce our commission by big time when we do this. So it should be rightly structured policy. Not every specialist is a specialist. You need an expert that get the education and practice it in his or her life. Someone just practice it 1 year or 2 years doesn't mean that he's an expert on that. you know so very important to work with a knowledgeable expert, have the right education, and have a coach beside you. I have my clients, mainly in real estate investment. They call, say, Joseph, I have this project, I want to do this and this, what do you think? So we sit down, we analyze it, and I give them the guys, thank you, and they will go for it. So, and this is the beauty in our company, that we don't sell and bye it's a long life relationship. It's lifetime.
All right. Okay. Right. And you said that you are for the last 20 plus years in infinite banking, right?
No, 24 years as a wealth creator, learning from the best advisors. I
Mhm.
am doing the infinite banking now. I learned about it 12 years ago. I'm practicing that. Oh, sorry, I started 12 years ago. When I learned about it first time, I was 15 years in business. Now, or before that, I learned about it. So it is about 10 years I'm practicing that as in my life and educating the people. But I have 24 years experience as a financial security advisor. They
Mm.
call it in the west of Canada, they call it insurance agent, but in Quebec we get more education. We are advisors. So we
Okay.
get higher education, and not only that, is the experience that I got it on the table. I told you, more than 250 years experience, accumulated experience on the table. That will give me, better knowledge than normal uh, 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 advisor or that someone would to sell you a life insurance. They didn't practice it in their lives. I have six banks, so
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
Okay. So the other thing, thank you so much. After almost 10 to 15 years, only you went into this infinite banking opportunity. You suddenly saw that somewhere, studied that, and then you decided to move. If you, for the first time moving, of course, there are so many immigrants come to this country. They try to go into life insurance or mortgages or real estate agents. That's okay. But you worked for 12 years. After that, only you got to know this concept. You studied, then only you moved into that. So, what is that aha moment that you got it from the studies that you did it? How did you identify that as a biggest opportunity versus that you spent the last previous 12 years?
This is a good question. I saw the people that they were losing money in a tremendous way because when they invest, there is a hedge on their investments in currency. I remember myself when I invested with my financial advisor, the market was going up, but I was losing.
Oh,
I called him and say, why I'm losing? He said, because there is a conversion currency conversion.
okay.
Oh my goodness. Then after that, also losing. Why I'm losing? There is this position, the manager did. So you lose always, always. So always, and there is something called the average return. Have you heard about when you buy any fund,
Okay.
they tell you that there is the average return on this amount of this investment is so and so.
Right.
You will get motivated. This is the aha moment for me
Mm,
at the beginning. Uh, the average return, I can show you now, and I show the listeners that you can make 20%
okay.
average return and lose all your money. Are you ready? Let's start. If you have $100,000
Right.
and you are making 100% return on it, what would be your capital or your investments at the end of the year? 200,000. Yes. So you have 100,000 making 100% return. Your
Yes.
your investments now worth how much?
Two.
200,000. Okay.
Yes.
Then the next year the market have a correction or crash,
Okay.
and it went down minus 60.
Okay.
What would be the value of your money now?
140.
80,000. You lost 120,000 because it was 200.
Okay.
You went down 60%. You have
Okay.
now your capital now is 80. The year after, the market go up 100%,
Okay.
and the year after go down 60. So we repeat that 10 years. After 10 years, you take the average 100 minus 60. 100 minus 60, you divide it, you will be having 20% plus. So we say the average return is 20%. But
Mm.
your 100,000 now, it is 37,000 something. What?
Oh.
What? Yes, do it. Don't believe me?
Mm-hmm.
When I saw that, I said, oh my goodness, this is a lie. And I remember one of the advisors in a known life insurance company. I cannot mention the name, I will be in a problem. I met in a restaurant with him. I said, Mr. So and so, may I ask you, you are teaching us all your life about the average return, but you never mentioned this one. I said, he was like this. I knew in that time that I don't want to be in this lie anymore. In that time, properly, the infinite banking book fly
Mm-hmm.
again. It was in my fly again. And since
Yeah.
that time, that's the only thing I'm doing. And reset. So I believe you create your banking system. You need a bank.
Yeah.
Who is the bank in your life? You need a banker. Who is the banker in your life? From there, you diversify. So at least you secure your money. Even if you lose in a deal,
Okay.
do you know? I did a webinar. I don't know if you watch it. You heard about the 10x. I show the people
Okay.
150x for the same deal.
Okay.
The cash on cash, instead of getting 20% return, cash on cash, I will show them how they get 296% on the same deal, cash on cash.
290%.
296%.
Wow. So in how many years of span?
It is the same deal. Same
Okay.
deal because you are using OPM, other people money.
So
It's no brainer. So you see, that's it's infinite banking is simple. A child can understand, but it's so deep that you the more you practice it, the more you see, wow, look at that. It's amazing. Why? And Leo, when people does it, they understand it. Guess what? I get always that. Why no one told me about it before?
yes.
Why it is if it's why I wish that I did it 30 years ago. In the beginning, they asked me, why, if it's so good, no one is doing that? Do you think the banks are going to promote that? Do you
Yeah.
think that they will educate you to be free from them? And I encourage everyone to go to Amazon and see, read the commentary about, or the comments about
Okay.
becoming your own maker. Yesterday, I checked it, it was 2,216 reviews, 4.6 rating. Even the
Wow.
people that they rated less than that, they said, great book, excellent information, and they give 4 stars. Why you give 4 stars if it's a great book? Anyway, so I did it. I finance
Okay.
three Mercedes, two
Wow.
Tesla, two Volvo by doing that.
Wow.
So in your family, how many children? Many children do you have, Elio?
Yeah, I have four children.
Each one need 11 cars in their lives.
44.
With their spouses,
Mm-hmm.
how many?
Eight.
88. Multiply that by 50,000
Wow.
cars. uh,
88.
and if you put them in your system, let me see, 40, so 88 times 50. So we
Four.
are talking about $4.4 million.
Wow.
So this leaving your, if you put them in a system with a compound interest, you will be creating about $25 million in your life.
Wow.
So instead of losing this money gone, you will be having $25 million tax free. Is that good?
Yeah, that's amazing.
So that's it. There, they are going to pay for the cars and they will lose. That's why we say the banking function. It's gone forever.
Yeah.
Why they don't go to daddy, to Leo, and borrow from Leo? And they will be paying for Leo instead of the banks.
All
But guess
right.
what? But Leo will give them a gift later.
Okay. Yeah, we have to really give a deep thought about infinite banking. I was intrigued about this one about 2, 3 years back in one of the conferences. Up to that point, even though I'm an accountant, I didn't really think about it. It was not brought to my attention. After that, of course, I talked to a few other experts, and I like you more. Then only I really wanted to get some podcast from you. So that's the reason we did that. And here we can continue a little more if you have some time. The coincidence is, you are talking about infinite banking. I'm a real estate investor and coach. I coach multifamily investment mostly with zero down strategies. And the coaching program we put that named as Infinite ROI System. It with four pillar system, infinite ROI system, because people try to buy a property without any down payment. Then from the day one, it is infinite ROI. If they put somebody else's money or their money, and if they take it out after on a refinance after a few years, then all their money is taken out and paid back. Then from that point of view, or point of time onwards, zero of capital there. So that is again coming as an infinite ROI system. So one of my students joined my program, and within 4 months' time, he invested in a property in US, $20 million property, and in
Okay,
time he's going to get about $54 million, and all the capital will be paid back to him. So from the third year, none of his capital is going to be there, but he's going to really enjoy that profit. So it's an infinite ROI from that point of view. So
great.
yeah, infinite is an amazing word. Many places people are misusing, but at the same time, if we understand that, it's a golden opportunity. So
Yeah. Yeah, let me see something. You are saying something that, do you know, I own the company,
Mm-hmm.
or no, I own the website called Infinite ROI.
Okay.
Look here. It is
Right.
here. I was infiniteroi.ca. I have lots of domains, so we can do something together. I believe in one. So when you secure your money, but guess what? This gentleman, he could be multiplying that 10 times.
Yeah, that's true. When you talk about this one, when you put with some practical example, people can simply understand. As you said, yeah, you have four kids, then 11 cars they are going to change it. So 44 cars with the spouse, 88 cars. So that costing about this much, $400,000. And of course, then we can simply understand that when the question is coming again, okay, as of that, they are coming to me so that I'm going to finance them. So in that case, there should be something that an ordinary person may have some difficulty understand how an ordinary person like Leo can finance their kids for their cars. Can you give some example so that they can understand?
Thank you. How did you become a real estate investor? Slowly, slowly.
Yes.
You educate yourself. So you need to start first, the first policy in your life.
Okay.
As to practice it, then when you see it, always when I start with my clients,
Mhm.
they take it. Very rare that they take the big amount right away, but they regret. After 6 months, they come back to me, say, "Can I have another one? I understand it now better. I need a bigger one. I have projects. I need a bigger one."
Mhm.
Okay, so you educate them, and guess what? The children will get it like this.
All right.
Actually, I'm writing a book now, Infinite Banking for Youth.
All right.
So it is, I have lots of books. It's going to be for dentists, for real estate investors. So I'm writing books, and your children will be well educated. So you teach them. So you create, and you have a family banking system meeting a year. You go, let's say, in a vacation with your
Yeah.
family, all the family, you go, let's say, to one of the resorts, and there you practice. Everyone will give a report on how they did how did they use the system. You need to write a contract between you and your children. If your
Mhm.
daughter, I don't know if you've had a daughter, but if
Yeah.
your daughter will borrow to buy the car, it's hard for us as a parents, especially from the east, that to we will give
Yeah.
our children. You will give them, but not now. So
Correct.
now they need to learn to be what, faithful bankers, and because they will teach their children also.
Mhm.
You see that? It's not only them and children. That's why in the book here, in page 72, you see, that's why we read the book and we understand it. There is four generations. Mr. Nelson Nash taught about it. That's
Right.
you, your children.
Mhm.
And the system is there, is ready. We need to read. He said to, yes, it is doable. And so they said, how do you eat an elephant? We don't eat elephant, but you eat it one bite at a time. So you practice that in your life. You teach your children, and you establish together with
Right.
them. If someone don't want to participate, they will
Mhm.
not be inheriting in the future from this part. They will inherit other parts. But if someone, let's say a child, don't know, I don't want that, I want to go to the banks. You're free, but don't blame me in the future. You didn't get an inheritance from the system.
Right.
So it's a mindset. But for us, sometimes as a Eastern and from Eastern countries, and we have different mentality, emotional. No, I should give my children. How can I charge? Yeah, you will charge them actually more interest than the banks.
Yes.
But guess what? They will create millions of dollars because of you. You will
True.
give them back all the money you spent on the cars plus few million dollars. Is that good?
That's really amazing. Okay. And the other question, Joseph, when you compare this infinite banking system, we always talk about Rockefeller's philosophy and their wealth creation and trust agreements and everything, family trust and everything. So, how do you compare that with this infinite banking system?
In USA, they have their trust is different than the trust in Canada. In Canada, you have 21 years lifetime for the trust. In USA, there is lifetime, especially the old one that was created with the Rockefeller.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not an expert on what they did. I read a lot about them, but I'm not inside the family to give really this is what they are doing.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
Of course.
but it is known that every person born in their family, they right away buy a life insurance on him
Okay.
and integrate them in the system. So when they borrow, when they have a project, they don't go outside. They borrow. They borrow from where? They borrow from their system. They borrow from themselves and they return to themselves. The interest stay in the family.
Okay. Okay.
Many ethnic, many special kind of people. I don't want to mention their names.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love them, and they don't buy from outside. They
Mm-hmm.
don't even. Let's say you have a store. You see there. You go to buy meat. You'll find the kilo at $30, and the same one and the other side, the other, it is $15.
Okay.
And you see them buying from this one, and they pay $30, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't pay $15 there. Why? Because the money should stay in the community.
Wow.
And by doing that, also them when they charge more, so the money doesn't leave.
Okay.
Money welcome to be in, but it's not out. That's the mentality. We didn't learn that.
Yeah.
Was what is the cheapest interest on that? I don't care about interest. I
Mm-hmm.
care about where is the interest is flowing.
Okay.
See that?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. And look, since more than 10 years, 11 years, I'm doing that, Leo. And look, I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's not because it's not selling. I saw a meaning. The aha, I have it every day. When I do the change in the lives, when I have people crying. Remember a Brazilian lady.
Okay.
I met them. One of the first clients that I met, and
Mm-hmm.
he was tears. I told her, "Why, Miss? Excuse me, why you're crying?" She said to me, "Joseph." By the way, my name is Jose, and everyone call me Joseph.
Yeah.
So Joseph, we thought when we came to Canada that we are going to have good future.
Mm-hmm.
She's near the 50s. She
All
said,
right.
we don't have future. We are not ready for our retirement. But by doing this system, we are ready now. So she's crying not because she's sad. She's happy. She said, we have hope now. Thank you. Thank you. We can be sure now we have retirement. Do you know, Leo? Do you know something? As someone is in the 50s
Yes.
and they are earning, let's say they are living in $120,000 income.
Mhm.
Do you know how much they need for 30 years retirement? In the retirement, there is three stages. There is,
Yes.
there is the go-go. You are healthy, you are good, you go vacation. After that, the health is not going to stay good enough. After that, what there is the slow go.
Okay.
You okay, less vacation and the health visit to hospitals. After that, guess what?
No go.
There is no go.
Okay.
The no go. What do you do with the no go? You need go now. Try to contact any old folks' homes. It is
Mm.
$6,000 to $8,000 a month if it's good quality.
Yeah.
People in the 50s
Mhm.
or let's say 45,
Yeah.
they need to put in the system minimum 20 years. When
Right.
they go to their retirement, do you know how much they need? A couple
Mm-hmm.
$8 million with the inflation. If you calculate $8 million from where? The longevity is the biggest problem. And so
Yes.
if they don't establish their banking system, they are not ready. You see, we are not talking about investments. And guess what? When you mix the infinite banking with real estate investments, oh my goodness, you will be one of the wealthiest family in Canada. You will
Yeah.
be
Just.
on the top 10, one per 10,000.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's
You need
amazing.
a bank.
Yeah.
You need a bank. Who's the bank in your life, Leo? Okay.
Mm. Okay, so that's good. So I'm going again because as a accountant, even then I had some difficulties to understand this. That's why. So you talk about a 50-year-old lady who is now worry free and because she has a good retirement. So how much may be around her income monthly or annually, and how much was supposed to be deposited into this infinite banking, and how come she was able to get that freedom that quick?
The lady that I spoke about it, I met her this morning.
Correct. No, that is a big one. Yeah, even for them also.
Okay, I'm not understanding the question, but you know, any when you establish your bank, let me ask you, compared to a real estate investor mentality, when you buy a property and you
Yes.
pay the mortgage
Correct.
until you get to 34%, 35% ratio to capital, you know,
Okay.
you cannot take a HELOC.
Yes.
You
LG.
can, so you need to have more than 35% values in your property to get
Correct.
a HELOC. Yes?
Yes.
So means that you need to capitalize first. If you get 40% or 50%, you can take 5% or 15%
Sure.
against. Same like the in the infinite banking. You build the policy, you
Yes.
fund it. There is
Correct.
a time you cannot fund it one day and
Yes.
borrow the next day.
Yes.
Uh, in reality, you can do it the first 2 weeks, but this is not ideal.
Okay.
That's why we use a company. Other companies look, for instance, in the market. I told you it's a Mercedes. You
Yeah.
cannot touch the money until after 1 year. With the
Okay.
company that we use, you can touch the money after 2 weeks.
Mm.
But let's say if you put 100,000 example in the you can borrow up to $70,000 after
Mm-hmm.
after 2 weeks. And how much left still in your policy? 100,000 still there,
Okay.
compounding. So you
Right.
see, uh, in the infinite banking, there is two stages. There is the accumulation stage,
Mm-hmm.
and there is the including the utilization of it, and there is after that there is the passive time. During accumulation, you should you know that 20/80 rules. You should
Yeah.
save 20% of your total income every year in your bank. Doesn't mean it's a payment. People
Right.
are people are against the word deposit in the banking. Look, from life insurance perspective and legal terms, as a agent, life insurance agent, or life insurance advisor,
Mhm.
it is considered as what? Premiums.
Correct.
From infinite banking perspective, it is deposit.
Deposit.
So you need to rethink your thinking. Do you remember I told you about the 8 rules? Let me tell you. Think long range. Don't be afraid to capitalize.
Right.
Don't steal the peas. What is the
Mhm.
peas? Let me show you. These are the peas. Mr. Nelson Nash said, don't steal your grocery store, your bank. Means
Yeah.
that don't steal. When you borrow, you need to return in the first phase. So don't steal their bank. Don't steal your banking system. When you borrow, you should return with interest. Treat
Mhm.
yourself as a stranger. Don't deal with banks.
Right.
When you want to borrow, of course, in the beginning, you cannot do it. You need 15 years to be free from banks. You cannot be free right away. It will, it says, but guess what? 15 years will pass anyway.
Mm-hmm.
20 years will pass anyway. Who is the banker in your life? So if you don't do it, you will be under their control. Number four. So that's we spoke about it. Don't deal with banks. Number five, rethink your thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You need to rethink what because we didn't learn that. We learned to be consumer, borrower. Now you need to think as a banker and bank owner. See that?
Mm-hmm.
It's the way to think. Number six is from David Stearns. He said, leave room for windfall. You have a
Okay.
great deal. You earn $150,000 on it, and you need to store it somewhere. If
Okay.
your bank is small, you cannot put it in it. So you need to plan to leave a room, and that's why you need an expert beside you to guide you with that. We need
Mm-hmm.
to plan that when you get good deals, you get an inheritance, you get big commission, big income, you need to put it somewhere. We need to
Okay.
plan for that. Now, the seven rule and eight rule, they are mine. Humbly, I say, never pay cash.
Mm-hmm.
Never, ever, 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 ever. Seven times, pay cash. You should
Mm-hmm.
never pay cash. You should always use your system to pay. And number eight, have a bird eye. Look to the big picture.
Okay.
You are going to lose little bit money on somewhere, but you are going to create tremendous wealth in another way. Let's say, as a reset investor, you have a deal. If you jump on it now, you will make money. You will make some money, and you will start the process. But if you postpone the deal for
Okay.
1 year or 2 years, and you will start late. But guess what? You will be making at the end five times more money than this way.
Mm-hmm.
It's how to start and secure. It doesn't mean that you cannot use it right away. I have people, they fund it, they can put $500,000 1 year, one shot. And we that's with our expertise. We can design the policy. There is no one design for the policy. There is standard, but main rule. But after that, there is the creativity on how we do the business. We are expert on that. We can help the people to do that.
Okay. So
Great.
when you tried, what is your ideal client? Not the ideal client, in my opinion. An ordinary client. If you want to take it to your infinite banking system, what is the minimum annual income you expect from him if he's in the age of 45 to 55, 50?
Good question. We don't. We are not like other companies, and I'm not saying negative, but some
Yeah.
companies on the market they don't take anyone if you don't have a certain amount. The only people we don't take are the irresponsible people that they are not willing to read.
Okay.
We have people they put $6,000 a year,
Mm-hmm.
and we have people they put $600,000 a year.
Okay.
We don't refuse anyone because our mission
Mm-hmm.
is not for us, is you, the client.
Very good.
To have them. But if they are not ready to spend time reading, I don't have time. My
Yeah.
life is short. I am 61 years old,
Mm.
and I don't have too much. I want to that the client to appreciate that we are giving them. And guess what? We don't charge for our services.
Correct.
If
Yes.
if if they are approved, get paid by the life insurance company. If they are not approved, we spend lots of time with them. We'll never charge them anything.
Mm-hmm.
Other company don't. That's why they evaluate and they say no, we don't want to deal with you. They don't want to do. So the losers we don't want to work. People we don't want with losers. Me, I say losers, not poor people. Losers that in their mentality that they don't want to change their lives. If they don't see the problem, we cannot help them. Someone should cry help. I need help. Okay, but now let's put it in a positive way. Any person is see the problem and wants to get out from it, we can help. First, they should be Canadian,
Mm-hmm.
resident.
Resident.
And if they are not resident, we can, even if they are Canadian, but not resident, they cannot get it. They should not have criminal record.
Mm-hmm.
They should have a valid driving license.
Okay.
I have a dear client that because of he was speeding 150, they
Okay.
refused him. He was he 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 was approved for $60,000 deposit a year.
Okay.
But guess what? Because of his when they investigate his speeding tickets, they refuse him.
Okay.
And for 5 years, he's not allowed to apply. So you see, also, so no criminal record, and you have a valid. If you have more than three tickets,
Mm-hmm.
speeding tickets, not parking tickets, mainly they could refuse you. Healthy should be healthy. If they are not healthy, but they have a spouse, they have an. We can look at that, and
Mm-hmm.
they should be able to save 20% of their income. They should be able. Let's say and this is Parkinson law. Say you should live by 80% of your income. 20% should go where? To your bank.
Mm,
And doesn't mean that they are expenses. No, you are building the warehouse of wealth to use
mm.
it to fund your investments.
Correct. Yes. Okay, that's
Is
amazing.
is
That's
that
great.
good? Is that good? Did I answer your questions?
Definitely, yes. So even a 50-year-old guy, if he is thinking or if he can allocate around $6,000 around, he can still qualify to get into this infinite banking system.
Yes.
Approximately. Okay.
Yes. Depend, if they are able to save. And guess what? When they put 6,000, and we, with our expertise, we can show them how the mortgage, instead of paying, remember, you don't pay cash. So when you pay the mortgage, you should not pay it right away. You
Okay.
pay it through the policy. Everything should pay through the policy. And in this way, guess what? If people are focusing on paying their mortgage, they pay
Mm.
it at a half time within the same budget.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So instead of 30 years mortgage, we guarantee them, if they follow the rules, they will pay it in 15 years or less within the same budget.
Right.
That's
Right.
the flow of money, but it's not like this. It's a
Yeah.
system. Hmm?
Okay. In that case, we have to have another episode of infinite banking to dig deeper to understand more to our audience.
Yeah.
Well said.
Actually, yeah. Actually, the best utilization of the infinite banking is with real estate because you can leverage both.
Yeah.
Leveraging is the secret of wealth. The more you leverage, you are
Yeah.
mimicking the banks. Banks, what they do, they leverage,
Hmm. Yeah.
and you leverage it. Okay,
Okay.
it's my
Thank you.
pleasure.
So the other one, but the last question, um, what is that advice that you can give in this current market because interest rate is high, inflation is high, people hope is a little lower here and there. So as an infinite banker and a financial advisor, what can you give an advice for an ordinary investor or a entrepreneur?
Absolutely right. In this environment, whereas there is big fluctuation on the market, uncertainty, wars, economy, politic turmoil, all this, you need to secure your earning income. The money you are earning should be secure. You deserve that. You should not lose. Warren Buffett said, never lose. That is rule number one. Rule number
Definitely.
two, never ever forget rule number one.
Yes.
When you build your own banking system,
True.
you secure your money.
Hmm.
100%. The company that we work with never miss a dividend in 103 years.
Wow.
The crash in the market, the Black Monday, they call it, the
Hmm.
Great Depression,
Yes.
23 crashes in the market, they pay dividend. 2008, they pay 12%. When the market did minus
Mm.
36, they pay 12.
Wow. That's a big number.
And the dividend will buy you more life insurance and more cash value. It's crazy. It's not about the dividend. It's about the system and the compounding.
Right.
So secure your money, be responsible. Hard time is coming. The world is crazy. It's
Yes.
becoming really, with the AI especially, many people will lose their jobs. That's why real estate investment and creating passive income, if what you are doing, Mr. Leo, what you are doing is amazing. You are helping people, especially the immigrant, that they
Yes.
come to the country and they don't know. We are all Canadian. I love everyone. But if they don't build a passive income and secure their system, the government is going bankrupt. From where they will get, from where they will find the money to sustain their system? They will go after you. And guess what? When you have your money in your bank, in the infinite banking policies, they can
Mm-hmm.
they cannot get it.
All right.
It's not
That's
it's not taxable. You are an accountant. It's not taxable.
not taxable.
Is that good?
Definitely. Definitely.
I will end with this. I have client or potential client came to me And he told me, the arrival syndrome. I know about whole life. I know. So I said, no, look, don't talk to me about infinite banking. I don't want it's a whole life because why? He saw some videos and he have bad information.
Okay.
I said to him, sir, there is another strategy for if you want. I have a strategy where you can have a super TFSA, a corporate TFSA. He has a company. Have you heard about corporate TFSA? He said, no. I said, yes, we have a corporate TFSA that
Mm-hmm.
were, and you are not limited to $8,000. You can put $80,000 a year in it if you want.
Wow.
He said, wow. And I said, not only that, it will give you big interest rate guarantee, and you can leverage it to do other things and have a death benefit on it also. So it's a super TFSA, but with a death benefit, and it gives you dividend every year, and you can take it outside your corporation tax free in a special way to use. And he said, I said, do you want it? He said, of course. I said, do you know what is the name of that super TFSA? He said, no. I said, infinite banking. See, people, they are enemy of what they don't know. We don't know what we don't know. We didn't get this. So yeah, I have good news here for the people. I did that for my family. I did that for myself, my children. I don't have children yet, but they are coming, I hope. And it is the best thing you can do in your life.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, the AI is taking over a lot of opportunities from the hands of employees. So future is very, very challenging. Of course, there is a bright side, one side, but at the same time, employees they have to think how they are going to sustain this AI as an employee and employee because we do AI implementation too for the businesses. So we know how we have to be seriously thinking about that. Otherwise, the current employment sector will be taken away or from all the employment opportunities. So, as you said, it's good. So, Joseph, how can our audience contact you? Can you tell your phone number and the email address? And I'm going to put that also in this episode last.
I think I will give you the link and you can put it in the video, but
Oh,
they can go to ibcfinancial.com,
okay.
ibcfinancial.com,
I,
and there is a button called Become the Banker. They can click on it. They reserve 30 minutes um, free consultation, and they mention after that when I meet them that they came from you, and we will give them a free book. Everyone is coming from you. We will give them the Infinite Banking for Real Estate Investors book, and it's worth $40. We'll give them that for free. We'll give
wow.
them access to a mastermind, also worth about minimum $3,000 education. We give them that for free. We give them the possibility if they are qualified. I see the first 30 minutes. If they are qualified to be their own banker, we give them complete education about um, their financial situation. We evaluate, we give them recommendations, then they decide what they want to do it. The only thing we ask is that after spending all this money, this time, we don't charge them our time. We want their promise that if they decide, and I said if they decide to do it, they do it with us. There is no obligation to do it with us. But since
Yes.
as ethical approach that we appreciate that we spend all this time with you guys,
Yeah.
it is our pleasure, and you will be adding maybe millions and millions of dollars in your lifetime from the money you are losing them unknowingly, unnecessarily to banks. Thank you, Leo. And this is, I will send you the link. And
That,
it is my pleasure to serve your community. If they are workers, Canadian resident, and they are able to save responsible, they will be wealthy, extremely wealthy. I'm telling you. Okay.
thank you so much, Joseph. Thank you for your time, and definitely we'll catch on another day also. Thank you.
It,
Have a great
it, is- it is my pleasure. It is my
day.
pleasure. Thank you.